Hi there, this is Sean, the Honest Book Reviewer, with another book review. In this video, we're discussing Blood and Ink, written by Brett Adams. Here's the book. It was published in 2022. It's a thriller. It's not a very good book, in my opinion. I think to really enjoy this, you have to accept the fact that the main character makes a series of moronic decisions. It's stupid choice after stupid choice, and they drive the plot forward. In my opinion, stupid choices shouldn't drive a plot forward. Okay, a character can make one stupid choice, maybe two, but a whole series of them, and just the way this main character acts, it's just very strange. It doesn't make sense for who the main character is in this book. Let's talk more about the book now. Jack Griffin is our main character. He's a professor of literature. He had a nervous breakdown a while ago in history, so before the book starts. His wife left him and took his daughter. He's still in contact with both of them though, and they seem to have an okay relationship. His life is kind of falling apart a little bit. He's got a student. It's not really a student of his course that he's teaching. It's a student who's taking another course but wants to sit in on his courses, and he's okay with that. He's kind of taken in by this student. This student's name is Hero, and he's quite clever. He's quite clued in to what Jack is teaching, and they seem to have quite a good relationship, quite a good student-teacher relationship, and it's also more like a friendship in this book. There's something really intense about Hero in this book. Also quite dangerous, I think. There's warning signs there that not everything's okay with Hero, that maybe he's planning something or plotting something. I'm surprised that the character Jack doesn't pick up on this, because being a university professor, being a teacher in modern day, you think that teachers would be more liable to pick up on things like this, especially with some of the things that go on in classrooms today. Anyway, the day before semester ends, Hero gives Jack an outline of a novel he wants to write, and in this outline there's a series of murders. Jack just glances through it. All the murders are quite different, quite varied. He doesn't really think that much more on it. Then a day or so later, there's a story about an attack on a female jogger in town, and this female jogger was a university student as well, and also a foreign exchange student. And so was Hero. Hero is from overseas, studying in Australia. The attack on the female student is very closely related to the first murder in Hero's outline for his story. And Jack starts to wonder, is this Hero attacking somebody? Is he trying to get first-hand experience? Because he's very intense, and Jack starts remembering just little things then, little warning signs that he should have noticed before. But instead of going to the police and handing the police the whole outline for the plot, that's what he should have done in the first place. So instead of doing that, he starts to ring the police and ask them questions. He wants to know what this female jogger looked like. He wants to see if the female jogger matches the description of the woman who gets murdered in Hero's outline. That's very strange, and the police think it's strange as well. He doesn't get anywhere with that. So instead of going to the police again in person and handing over this document, he tracks down who the female jogger is, and he goes to her house and he impersonates somebody from immigration to talk to her about her visa, because he wants to know what she looks like. So he goes there, talks to the girl, and then two detectives turn up to talk to the girl who was attacked. And of course, they think he's acting very strangely. So then he gives the police the truth about what he's doing, that this student Hero wrote this document, this outline for a plot, and he's there just trying to see if it all matches up. He wants to see if he then should go to the police. The police, of course, think he's suspicious. So they take notice of that, and from then on, instead of Jack giving something to the police and saying, I've got a student called Hero who could be a suspect, Jack himself becomes the main suspect. This all starts a cat and mouse game around the world, basically. It's like The Amazing Race with murder. because Jack is trying to catch Hero before Hero kills each victim. And each victim's in a different country, in a different continent, it seems, as well. So I find this storyline too extreme. It should have been a more narrow scope. It would have been a lot better if the cat and mouse game, the murders, took place in a smaller area instead of all around the world. That just seemed too bizarre, too extreme and over the top, even for a thriller. Especially for a thriller like this, where you got a student racing around the world, killing people, and then a university professor who's almost broke. And he even goes broke as he's travelling around these countries. And I just find that bizarre about how he can still go from country to country with no money. And just some of the things he does is also quite bizarre. So this whole storyline, this whole story is very hard to swallow. And I just don't really believe what goes on in this story. I couldn't engage with it because all those over-the-top things that happen, all the stupid decisions, all the stupid reasons to go from place to place, I just didn't really engage with any of it. I did finish it because I do like to finish books once I start. The writing in this book is very good. The writing style is good, the language, the way the story is told is very good. It's just the story itself that I didn't enjoy very much. Jack is our main character. Now, I didn't engage with him very much at all. I didn't really believe him as a character. It's all those stupid choices he makes, those stupid decisions. It just didn't gel with a university professor. You think a professor in university would be a bit more clued in, a bit more clever, but Jack doesn't seem to be. And for that, this character fails in my opinion. Hero is the best written character in this book. He makes a great villain. And the book should have had more of his point of view, I think. If it did, it would have been a much better book, because as a character he's very engaging and he does drag you in. He's quite clever, he's planned things out well in the book, so he does make a great villain. And it's unfortunate that the main character isn't as good as the villain in this book. Martin is a detective in London. Now, she's a borderline character in my opinion. She's okay, but she's not very developed. She seems a bit one-sided and she just doesn't really engage me much in this story. Seems a bit odd, some of the things she does in this story as well, the choices she makes. So again, it's another character that doesn't really fully engage me, the reader, into the story, and I don't really fully believe everything this character does in the story either. Blood and Ink could have been a much better book if the scope had been narrowed, if just the whole storyline had been just toned down a little bit, concentrate more on that cat and mouse activity instead of having all these outlandish things going on, hopping country to country, different ways of getting country to country. I mean, there's even one instance where he cons his way onto a yacht to sail into America, and I found that just ridiculous. I rate this a 2 out of 5. A 2 because the writing is good. The author can write very well. It's just the story. The story itself just fails, in my opinion. On my channel, I do review other thriller novels. If you don't want to miss out on those videos, check out my channel and subscribe. There's also a thriller playlist on my channel, should be on your screen now.